Hello there, Taurus. Thank you so much for stopping by for your bi-monthly tarot reading. This is going to be good for April the 16th through the 30th, maybe even beyond. I've seen these things stretch out and I've seen them happen really fast. Kind of depends how quickly you embrace the listener experience and how much you push against it. So we are going to be looking at one life cycle that you're going through right now, Taurus, and we're going to look at what happens as you move through that life cycle. A life cycle just sets you up to learn something or experience something. And so we'll look at the setup, we'll look at the lesson or experience, and then we'll look at what happens as you incorporate that lesson or experience into your life. Manuela, Manuela, hello, hello. Thank you for the thumbs up, my dear. You must be a night owl. This is 2 nights in a row that I've caught you up here really late. Alrighty, so Taurus. First card we have talks to me about your environment, and your environment is any place where you have energy or effort invested. For most people, it is home, but sometimes it'll come up as work or as school just as easily. So you want to keep your mind open what environment this card may be speaking of. What this is telling me is that your environment has caused you some kind of disappointment. There was something that you had expected to be just kind of part of the deal with your environment, and that expectation has not stood up. So there's something that's happened in your environment that you have found to be disappointing recently, Taurus. I did not do Virgo yet. Nope. Tonight is Taurus, and then I'll do Gemini the next night, and then Cancer, and then Leo, and then Virgo, and then after that we'll have a Reiki night. And then we'll go on from there. Okay. All right, so let's see. Second card that we have coming up for you, Taurus, talks to me about your subconscious leanings. Subconscious leanings is there some kind of goal that you are wanting to accomplish that you have not fulfilled yet? Maybe this is some kind of schooling that you're wanting to complete. Maybe you're wanting to take a relationship to the next level. Maybe you're wanting to buy a house or get a promotion. There's some kind of goal that you have not been able to complete just yet, Taurus. And your subconscious mind is really working on, okay, how do I get past those blockages? How do I actually manifest this completed goal that I want? Okay, so that's what your subconscious mind is working on right now. Next, Taurus, what I'm looking at is actually two things in this card. First of all, I'm looking at your learning style and also your communication style, especially as it pertains to this particular life cycle. Okay, so let's see, learning style. Taurus, it's interesting what I'm seeing here as far as your learning style, because what I have showing up is that you are waiting, watching, listening for the truth. And I think even what's going on here, Taurus, is you're kind of setting little traps almost, so to speak. We're setting lures out in the water, like you're making little comments to see how people respond to those comments. And you're really figuring out a lot of information just by people's response to the comments that you're making. So that's your learning style right now. A lot of observation, a lot of paying attention, and even setting out some ideas just to see how people react and respond to them in a very careful way too, in a way that does not lead people to respond one way or the other, so that you're getting their true response. Okay, so definitely doing some learning, some research on people in your life, Taurus, if that's the method that you're using, for sure. That's very cool. Thank you, Manuela. That's awesome. I feel highly complimented. All right, so the next thing I'm looking at on this card is also going to be communication style. So what I'm seeing here is that you're a little roundabout in your communication style. We kind of already saw this in your learning style, that you're incorporating communication in your learning by letting those little ideas out and seeing how people respond. I think you're very roundabout in your communication style right now, Taurus. I think you're not saying things as directly as you could, and I do feel like that's intentional. You're not saying things as directly as you could because you are just kind of waiting to see, what's this other person going to say? What's this other person going to do if I don't lead them in a certain direction? Where are their true feelings going to lead them? So even your communication is coming across in a roundabout way right now, Taurus. And that's not always you. So it's just as it pertains to this particular life cycle you're going through right now. All right, so next thing that I'm looking at talks to me about work, Taurus. Now, I'm kind of weird about work because I see work in two different ways. I see it as those things that we do to make a living or to feel productive in the community. And I also see it as those things that we do to improve our own character for our own self. Okay, so what we have here as far as work, like making money type of work, is that you're being very diligent with your work. You're putting in the energy and effort. You're making sure you're doing what you need to make sure that that money comes to you. All right. And you're also, as far as inner work, there's a lot going on there that you are putting energy into. And I feel like, this has to do with improving your own sense of follow through when it comes to duties or responsibilities. I think that you are working on making sure that if you feel like you should be doing something, that you actually follow through and that you do this. Or if you tell somebody, I'll take care of that for you, that you actually do this. This may not have been your highest priority before, to live up to the responsibilities that you've set for yourself. And so you're working on improving that, basically improving your integrity in a very particular way, Taurus. Okay, so next thing that we have coming up talks to me about that part of you that part of your personality that's being grown or expanded right now, Taurus. What you have here is the King of Swords. So when we've got the King of Swords, this is just telling me that you are working on looking at things logically, bottom lining things, paying attention to details, making sure that you know the truth about something before you make decisions, really looking at things in a logical way. Okay. And then next, what do we have? This next card talks to me about those things that you stand for. Taurus, it looks like recently you've let somebody know that you're not so thrilled with them or with their behaviors, maybe. And somebody may have said to you, don't you think you were a little harsh? And you're like, no, I think this person has been building up and deserving this for at least 13 months. I think they're very lucky it took me this long to say that in that way. They're lucky I didn't say it in a more harsh way. That's what I see going on here. Okay. You're defending yourself for saying something and letting it come across in a harsh way. Anna David, hello, hello, hello. Manuela, yes, ma'am. La da 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 da. La da da. I don't know, Hannah. I'm not looking at questions in this video. I'm actually just looking at a general reading for Tauruses. If you want to know about somebody cheating in your life, then that would be more of a private reading type of thing, actually. Yes, I'm going to do, what we're doing is each night we're going to do a video for each sign. So like yesterday was Aries, today is Taurus, and we'll do Gemini, Cancer, Leo, and Virgo. Then after that, we'll do a night where we have a Reiki and free-for-all questions reading. And then we'll do Scorpio, Sag, Capricorn, Aquarius, Pisces, And then we'll have another night where we do a Reiki with free for all questions. So there'll be like every 7th night, something like that, if I stick to my schedule. Then we'll do the Reiki videos just like we always did. All right, so Taurus, let's move on. Let's look at how other people are perceiving you. Now, generally, this is the same person that confronted you about this card. So whoever said to you, don't you think you were a little harsh? And maybe that's not exactly their words, but that's their point. This person that said that is seeing you as somebody who is not cooperating. You're not a team player. I'm hearing this and I almost feel like I kind of feel like I want to smack them. Like, how dare they say you're not a team player? How dare they say that you don't cooperate? You have put up with a whole bunch and you've cooperated through a whole bunch, Taurus. So, but this other person's perception is that you're not a team player. You're not cooperating with them. Okay. So you got to kind of take that with a grain of salt, I think, because I'm hearing like, how dare they? I think that's how you feel about it. Let's see. Next thing we're looking at is the lesson or experience of this life cycle. Here we have the King of Cups. So with this being your lesson or experience, I really think, Taurus, that you are expressing your love to those that you actually care about. And you're doing it in a very upfront, I almost want to say casual way. Just you're doing it in a very upfront, direct way. There should be no question in anybody's mind who you care about, that you care about them by the time you get done with this lesson or experience, okay? As you are incorporating this lesson, which basically, with it being a lesson, this is basically saying that this is something that you are learning to do on a regular basis to express how much you care about the people in your life who are important to you. And as you're doing that, we've got some fantastic cards. First of all, the Empress shows up, which tells me that as you're expressing how much you care about other people to them, you're also manifesting wonderful, beautiful things to yourself, and you're becoming more productive and more fruitful yourself. You're making more money. You're creating more things. Your creations are better than they were before. That type of thing. Okay. Also, you've got the Queen of Coins here. So you've got the Empress and the Queen of Coins. The Queen of Coins just says that as you're expressing your deep feelings to those around you who have earned them, shall we say, you are becoming more financially stable. You are becoming more secure. And secure is a big word. It doesn't necessarily mean just financially stable. You can be becoming more secure in your relationships as well. I've seen coins apply to that as well. And then the last card that we have coming up is the Chariot. This is the ultimate fulfillment of this life cycle, and this is actually what kicks off your next life cycle and begins the next setup. This is just talking about that you are working well together with somebody else. Okay? And it's easy to see this may even be multiple somebody else's. You may be gaining a business partner when you express to them how much that person means to you or how much their work means to you or whatever. You may be gaining a romantic partner when you express how much you feel, how much you care for somebody in your life in that way. I feel like for a lot of you, this is a multiple power team is what I'm hearing. So this can be romantic, this can be business, this can be multiple power teams. For some of you, this is going to be about business and about romance. For others of you, this is going to be partnerships in business that are new for you, that are opening the door. And I don't mean one single partnership. I do feel like for a lot of you where this applies to business, we could be talking about 3 partnerships here. Okay. All right. So partnerships that are going well is ultimate fulfillment of that. So that covers you guys, Taurus, for the next couple weeks at least. Like I said, it might even go longer. Depends how quickly you embrace the lesson or experience and how much you resist it is what decides how long a life cycle actually lasts. But that's what I have showing up for today. And it is, let's see, 10 o'clock on the 15th now. So we're going to say that this is for starting tomorrow through 2 weeks from now, at least, if not longer. Okay. Thank you for being here and for keeping me on my toes. I do appreciate it. Everyone have a fantastic, wonderful, thrilling, and peaceful evening. And I'll see you guys the next time around. Peace out.